Hey everyone, PrefixWiz here, bringing you another Unity tutorial and continuing our series with Unity tips and tricks. Today, we're going to talk about multi-scene editing.
Counting double-digit thousands.
Today, we're talking about multi-scene editing. Let's go ahead and open Unity. All right, and as you can see here, I already have one scene created. Well, I have several scenes created, but I only have one scene showing. So let's say we were finished editing this specific scene. Okay, we would go up here like normal and we would save the scene. No problem. It would go down here to our save scene area, wherever we have our scenes being saved to. And let's say though we wanted to, we had to go to scene two. So okay, so we pulled up scene two, and now we're looking at scene two. And for some reason, it just doesn't seem right that we have that one blue cube, and you can't remember exactly what colors were in scene one, or whatever the situation may be. There could be a lot of assets in the hierarchy, and you don't really want to have to keep going back and forth between scenes to try to really make your game polished. That's just a waste of time. Now you can just add multiple scenes to the hierarchy and edit them all at one time. So let's say, for instance, there was scene one that we just unloaded. We want to go ahead and take a look at that one. We just drag it up into the hierarchy. But let's say scene three, we wanted to look at that one as well. Let's go ahead and grab all these items so you can see what we did with it. So that's scene three. Okay, so now we have three scenes that we can directly edit right here in the hierarchy without having to unload and reload scenes. And we can save them as well. So let's go through the functions that we do have. So you can actually right click and set a scene to active. That way when you push play, it starts on that scene. Also, let's say that that's the active scene that you want to edit at the moment. You can right click other scenes that you don't want to and unload those scenes. Okay, when you unload those scenes, you're saying, look, I want to keep all of your business in the hierarchy. I just don't want to see it right now. And I don't want you to interfere with my play editor either. So if you notice before, we have this little, there are three audio listeners in the scene. That's because we have three cameras. We have one camera in each scene, and we had three scenes going at the same time. So it does play all three scenes at the same time if you don't unload the scene. So that was giving us an error, as well as code, regular code, or any other code can give us error. So what we can do is unload the scenes, hit play, and notice we don't have this warning anymore about audio listeners because there's only one. It only recognizes one scene since we unloaded the other ones. But let's say we have three main scenes, and now I want to, turn scene two back on. All you have to do is right click on scene two and load scene. It brings it right back in all of its information and all of its assets. Same thing with scene one. Just keep in mind that anything that has an asterisk next to it in your scene name means that you have not saved that scene. So you can right click and save scene. You can right click and rename and save scene as, or you can right click and remove scene completely. You're done messing with it. You will never go back to editing that scene in the near future. Or you can right click and even create objects into that scene. In addition to creating, you can actually move an object from one scene to another. So let's say I didn't like this plane in this one. So I can delete that. But then I can take the plane in scene two, duplicate it, and move it over to scene one. And now I have scene two's plane in scene one. And now, of course, you notice the asterisk. All I have to do is right click, save all. And all the scenes have been saved at this time. So let's say I were to go ahead and right click, unload this scene, and there we have it. And from this menu, you can even add a new scene. And in this new scene, we could, let's say, duplicate all this stuff, bring it down to this scene, and now this scene has everything that that other scene had. Now you can do it that way, or you could simply, duplicate it down here with Control D. You select the scene, hit Control D, and it duplicates it. But let's see how many scenes we can actually put in here. I'm not 100% sure. Well, I mean, I was able to put 30 of them in here at least. So I don't recommend it, especially when you have a lot of assets in your hierarchies in each scene. So I don't recommend it, but you can do it. And of course, to get rid of all these, you can select the scene that you, let's say you wanted to get rid of scene 1 through scene 19. Obviously, just left click it to select it, hold shift and left click on the last one that you want to get rid of, and it will select everything in between. And you can right click and either unload scene or remove scene. And that is multi-scene editing. Thank you so much for watching. If you like this video, go ahead and hit that like button and don't forget to subscribe.